"Fix this engine and I'll marry you," the female CEO mocked. The single dad just smiled. The sun was setting over the dusty parking lot of a small roadside diner, its golden light casting long shadows over the rows of cars. Daniel, a single father in his early 30s, tightened his grip on his little daughter's hand as they walked toward their old, rusty pickup truck. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed away 2 years ago, leaving him to raise 6-year-old Emily alone. He worked double shifts as a mechanic just to keep food on the table, but no matter how hard things got, he never let Emily see him break. To her, he was a hero, a man who could fix anything, even when the world seemed broken beyond repair. Just a few feet away, a sleek black luxury car stood hood up, steam rising from its engine. Beside it, a well-dressed woman in high heels and a tailored suit paced impatiently, barking orders into her phone. Daniel recognized her instantly. Victoria Lane, one of the most powerful CEOs in the state, a woman known for her cold, no-nonsense demeanor. Everyone in town knew her face from magazine covers and business headlines. Emily tugged on his hand and whispered, "Daddy, her car's broken, maybe you can help." Daniel hesitated for a moment. He was tired, his hands stained with grease from a long day, but Emily's hopeful eyes nudged him forward. Approaching cautiously, he offered, "Ma'am, looks like you're having trouble. I'm a mechanic, want me to take a look?" Victoria turned, eyeing him from head to toe, her lips curling into a smirk. "You? In that filthy shirt?" She gave a sarcastic laugh. "Sure. Fix this engine, and I'll marry you." Her tone dripped with mockery, the kind meant to sting, as if the very thought of someone like him being worthy of her was laughable. Emily frowned, not fully understanding, but Daniel simply smiled, a calm, kind smile that held no anger. "Ma'am," he said softly, "I don't need anything in return. Let me just help." With nothing but a rusty toolbox from his truck, Daniel got to work. The engine was a mess, likely overheated from neglect. As he worked under the fading sun, his daughter stood beside him, holding a flashlight with both hands, her little face scrunched in concentration, proud to help her dad. Within half an hour, the car roared back to life. Daniel wiped his hands on a rag and stepped back. "You're all set," he said, still wearing that same gentle smile. Victoria stared at him, genuinely surprised. "How much?" she asked, pulling out a wad of cash. Daniel shook his head. "No charge. I'm just glad you're safe to get home." Something in his tone, steady, sincere, pierced through her usual armor. She was used to people expecting something from her, money, favors, connections. No one helped her just because they wanted to. For the first time in years, she found herself speechless. As she glanced down, her eyes landed on Emily, who shyly offered a tiny daisy plucked from the grass. "My mommy used to say flowers make bad days better," the little girl said softly. Victoria felt an unfamiliar sting in her chest. She knelt to accept the flower, whispering, "Thank you, sweetheart," her voice cracking ever so slightly. Before driving away, she looked at Daniel once more, but this time there was no mockery in her eyes. Only curiosity, and something that felt like admiration. Days passed, but Victoria couldn't forget the encounter. She learned more about Daniel, how he'd given up his own dreams to raise his daughter, how he worked tirelessly yet never complained, how he helped anyone in need without expecting a dime in return. Something inside her shifted. She, a woman who had built an empire on being tough and untouchable, suddenly wanted to be someone softer, someone better. Weeks later, Victoria showed up at Daniel's small repair shop, holding a picnic basket. Emily's face lit up with joy as she ran to greet her new friend. Victoria smiled nervously at Daniel. "I came to say thank you, and maybe ask if you'd like to join us for lunch." Daniel's smile was warm, forgiving, as if that cruel joke in the parking lot had never happened. "We'd like that," he said simply. What began as a chance meeting turned into something deeper, friendship, understanding, healing. Victoria learned what true strength looked like, not power or wealth, but love, sacrifice, and kindness. And Daniel, the man she once mocked, became the one who taught her that the richest hearts are often found in the humblest places. No, they didn't marry because of a fixed engine. They fell in love because one act of compassion, given freely, with no expectation, had the power to change two lonely lives forever. And from that day on, Victoria never forgot the man who smiled in the face of mockery, choosing kindness over pride, and teaching her what it really means to be human.